Hey, hi, welcome to another riveting episode of Bust by Millionaire. Today's topic is going to be about RSPs versus real estate and financial planners and how I feel about that. It's it's always a topic. It's come up time and time again, like in stocks, like what are you going to put your money into? And I just want to give you all my POV on it. Uh, Obviously, I'm going to say I'm pro real estate. And we literally, in 1998, no, 98, we bought the house. And then 3 years after that, we had some RSPs and I cashed them out. We cashed them out because, excuse me, I want to put it into real estate. And I'm so glad I did because, first of all, the RSPs were in mutual funds. So I wasn't managing it. And I know I have some friends, some really good friends, uh, that have taken over their RSPs and managed their own funds and had amazing returns. But I was never so inclined that that was going to be my thing to do. So, uh, if if you choose to do that, I'm not saying they're terrible, but if you've got the know-how to go and manage your RSPs, the stocks within it, then you could probably have really great returns. One of my good friends, uh, best friends, partner over the years, Elsie. Shout out to Elsie. She has done incredibly well with her stocks because when she took them over from her uh, mutual fund company, and she started managing things on herself. And like she's done amazing with it. Other folks, if you just pass it off and it's in a mutual fund, somebody's managing it for you, and then they take a fee. And what happens is when it comes time for you to get out of that and you're in your retirement, you lose about 30% of your gain on that because of the fees. They don't tell you that up front, but when it's time for you to cash out, it's a thing. So you got to consider that and figure out the right kind of fund or get some help to manage it or learn how to manage your own stocks yourself. But it is a thing. So for me, the reason I took my money out of my RSPs to go into real estate was I always felt like somebody else is has control over my money, and it's the person. So you've got money in a stock and a mutual fund, and there's a guy running a company somewhere that I've bought this stock, and guy, girl, or whoever's running this company, they're doing whatever they want. The value of that company goes up and down based on this person or this group of people that are managing this company. I have no control over it. All I have is some information to buy that stock, and hopefully, maybe I'm, I can do the research and I'm more knowledgeable, and I can, pick a good stock, and I can do well. A lot of my friends have done, they bought Apple and Google and Amazon and Uber and all those things early on, and Tesla, and they were good investments, and they've done really really well. So, like I said, a lot of other people have they've done their thing and they've made money in the stock market, but I took my RSPs out. We took our RSPs out and we started buying, and it it was great. And we started buying when it was affordable here in Toronto, and we did really really well. The and I remember other folks. When 2008, when things tanked, everyone's going, "Whoa, should I get into real estate?" And I said, "Yeah, you should. Like, get buy something, try it out." But the thing about real estate is, people think it's a lot of work, and people think that it's very very uh, hard to manage. But it's not. The biggest hurdle I've figured out with real estate, it's in your head. Once I bought the first place, it was easy to buy the second place, and then the third place, and then the fourth place, and then the fifth place. I was able to get the money and to buy those places, but once you get them and you understand what it's like to be a landlord, it gets easier and easier. The biggest hurdle becomes your mind, not the money. So that's what we did. But while we were doing that, before we did it, actually, there was a financial planner. I got a financial planner, and hold on a second. So part of the topic too is about financial planners, and we got a financial planner before we bought our first place. We had just gotten married, and he came in and he took stock of everything that we had. That's when we had the RSPs, and he went away. We paid him, I don't know, a couple $100 or whatever it was, and he came back with his plan. And I asked him about it, and there was no real estate in that. And then he said, well, I said, what do you think about real estate? And he said, do you want to fix a toilet at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. And he said, that's how I feel about real estate. I said, okay. He went away. I still have his financial plan. I still keep it as a reminder. And if I had listened to this dude, we wouldn't have anything. And we went on to buy places. And you know what? I did run into problems. I did run into things I had to fix. But they were all manageable. I remember specifically walking out of my house, up the street, past the first rental that we had, because our rentals were right next door. And there was this young guy that had rented this apartment, and drywall had fallen onto his bed because the bathroom of the apartment above had a leak, and there was this huge hole. I'll never forget it. I don't want to say huge, it's like half a foot. And I go in there, like as I'm walking by, he'd come out and he said, you got to take a look at this. This thing's like, it's an issue. I said, okay. So I walked in there and I looked up at the ceiling, and there's this hole and it's dripping. And I was beside myself. I said, holy crap, what am I going to do? I didn't know how to fix anything. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't have any contacts. This is our first rental, and this thing happens. The dude was a great dude. And I went back to the house, and I told my wife what's going on. And I made some calls, did some research, got some things figured out, and I got it fixed. Stuff happens, but I got it fixed. And other things happened after that at other places, and you get it fixed. You find the right people. And back then, the internet and finding folks wasn't as easy as it is now. Everything's a click away now. So you can find people to help you manage stuff, or you can get a place and get a property manager, this, that, and the other thing. But I'll never forget about that that financial planner saying, "Oh, do you want to fix the toilet at 3 in the morning?" If I had listened to him, I would have been screwed, or not screwed. I would not have what we have today. And you got to pick the thing that's right for you. There's some work. Any investment, there's some work. Some people say, like, if you invest in stock, there's work. You got to do the research. You got to find the right stock to buy. Do the calculation. That's work. Real estate's the same thing. It's work. You could either get a place, then get a property manager, or not get a property manager and do it yourself. But there's some work. There's any investment, there's going to be some work in some shape or form, and you pick the right thing that's right for you. The right thing that was right for me was real estate, and it still is. I might get into stock. There's some other stock stuff that I'm learning about now. I might get into it, but I'm sticking to what I know. And what I know is real estate, and I know how to invest, and I know how to manage. And you got to figure out what's right for you. But don't ever be intimidated by what you hear about managing real estate. It's pretty easy. Like I said, a dummy like me can do it. Anybody else can do it. So that's all I got. Later. So we had a